This morning it's another poem by my favourite Mary Oliver, and it's called Peonies. This morning the green fists of the peonies are getting ready to break my heart as the sun rises, as the sun strokes them with his old buttery fingers, and they open pools of lace. And all day the black ants crawl over them, diving their deep, mysterious holes into the curls, craving the sweet sap, taking it away to their dark underground cities. And all day, under the shifty wind, as in a dance to the great wedding, the flowers bend their bright bodies and tip their fragrance to the air and rise, their red stems holding all that dampness and recklessness gladly and lightly. And there it is again, beauty, the brave, the exemplary, blazing open. Do you love the world? Do you cherish your humble and silky life? Do you adore the green grass with its terror beneath? Do you also hurry, half-dressed and barefoot, into the garden and, softly and exclaiming of their dearness, fill your arms with the white and pink flowers, with their honeyed heaviness, their lush trembling, their eagerness to be wild and perfect for a moment, before they are nothing forever. I'm always reminded of this poem on my grandson's birthday. I remember when he was born, there were peonies, and I took them to his mum to say, happy birthday. Let's do some yoga. Lifting the arms, stretching down and up. Big breath in, inhale, big yawn. Squeeze up your eyes and softly, softly let it go. And again, reaching up. Let the body move a bit, the waist move a bit, the feet press a bit more. Big yawn. Releasing, softening, relaxing lightly. And one more. Yawning. And down. Walking. Noticing. One arm comes forward as the opposite knee rises. Now you see if you can do it on one leg, it's quite hard. Back to 2. And the other leg. And then you come still and one more, reaching up, yawning. And softly down. onto the back. And relax. Bending the knees to standing. Reaching down into your tail as you lift your left foot and it floats and lower. And lift your right foot and it floats. And lower. Lift both feet. And release. Open the knees, feet together. Relax. Allow your body to be heavy and open, and you feel the earth under you and the space above you. You open your eyes and you stare at a spot. It might have to be an imaginary spot, or it can be a little mark on the ceiling. And then allow your gaze to open so that instead of focusing in the center, you feel the peripheral vision. And when you close your eyes, you maintain that openness, that peripheral vision, and feel where it takes you. And then slowly take your knees together and lift your feet, embrace your legs, interlace your fingers, or however else you can manage to squeeze, and lift up the face. And lower the head, and hold the ankles, and ground the feet, and arch the back. Walking the shoulders. Pushing down flat the back of the neck. Make sure you can feel the inside of the legs as well as the outside, evenly. And then you can just release a little bit so the arms can let go. And you lift the arms soft, 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 peel down the back. Lift soft arms, peel down, peel down, peel down. And release. And straighten your left leg, put your right leg across your left. So you take it right over, so you're twisting the waist. The left arm can just be wherever it wants to be. And you're going to bend the left knee. So your right leg is the one that's crossing. It can be bent or straight. Then you bend the left knee and hold on to the left ankle with your right hand. And then you can maybe straighten this front leg a bit more. And reach back a bit, turn, twist. Head on the floor. Breathing into the resistance, feeling the flex in that back foot, maybe a bit in the front foot as well. Easing through the neck, lengthening your left arm and your right. And then very softly you release your knees, roll onto your back. Feet flat to standing, arms beside a little, and you let go. You release into the light within you. Into the breath in the belly, into the softest chin. And you straighten the legs. And this time the left leg crosses over the right. You bend the right knee and hold with the left hand onto the right ankle. The right arm can be wherever you want it. Mine's getting a little bit stuck here with a lot of props. Twisting the waist, lengthening if you can, that left leg, or you can leave it bent. Soften the neck, soften the armpits, the shoulders. Let the waist turn a bit. Feel where it's pulling. Allow it to pull a little bit more softly and perhaps a little bit more effectively. And release, soften both knees onto the back. For a moment you settle. Settle. Allow. Straightening your left leg, you bend your right knee and keep the elbows straight, so you're keeping the knee pulling away so you can engage the middle. As you release and bend the elbows, you soften the middle. As you reach forward, you push down and bend a bit and reach. Flex feet if you want to, makes it a bit easier. The next time the heel comes forward, you lift the head. You can rock a bit and come up. Straightening the legs, easing forward. Carefully, slowly, keeping the ego in the other room. Giving your body time and space, giving it permission not to get there. And then onto the back again. For a moment you pause, feel that. Let the body absorb it. And then speak to you. Bending the left knee. Keeping the left knee pulling away so your elbows stay straight. And then if you bend your elbows, you pull the knee in, then it straightens again. So it's like you're using the leg to stretch the elbows, and then the head lifts. And if you lift the other leg, you should be able to come up, but you can rock, of course, if you want to. And again, we're coming forward over the legs. And release, lying down. Bending the left knee, putting the right ankle in front of the left knee and lifting the left foot, putting the right arm between the thighs so you can interlace around your left knee and drop the head. And bend your elbows. If they'll bend, of course. See what happens if you slightly ease over to your left shoulder. Maybe turning your head a bit. And then you can lift up toward that foot. And lower. And release very carefully. If you have knee issues, support the foot with the hands so you're not too much challenging the knees. The knees return, the feet to the floor, relax. Especially the wrists and the groin. Left foot, left ankle in front of right knee. Hands hug the right knee. Head to the floor. Bend the elbows. Notice whether it's tighter or looser this side.
Head slowly to the right, just letting the body roll a little bit to the right. Looking up toward the foot. And release. Lower the head. Carefully release the legs, supporting the foot if you need to. Holding the ankles, grounding the feet, arching the back. If you can't reach the ankles, hold on to the mat. Easing your way down halfway. Letting go without dropping the bottom. Reaching up, palms together, gripping. Head up, chest down, legs release and sitting up. Lengthening tall. Bending elbows. Bending left knee, turning to left. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind. Right foot is flexed. Waist is long. Ears are light. Turn your head to the left. Then on the next in-breath, we're going to reach up and arch the back. And slowly down. And settle. And slide down the right leg. Doesn't have to be far. You can have your hands on the knee. Or a little bit lower. Or you can hold the foot if you can reach it. But remember, you leave the ego out with the shoes. And releasing. Straightening both legs. And then we bend the right knee and turn to the right. Left hand is on right knee, right hand is behind. Left foot is flexed. Chest is light. Throat is soft. And then we lift and arch. Try to have very little weight on the left toe, the one that's just touching, as if it was wearing a little ballet slipper. And then down. This time it's over the left leg. Carefully, slowly, mindfully. Wriggling your way into the stretch, giving it permission not to let go, being delighted when perhaps it does a bit. Releasing. Bringing your left heel in front of your right ankle. So you're sitting in cross legs. Twisting to the left, the right hand goes back. Twisting to the left hand goes back. The right hand crosses. It can either hold onto the left knee or you can slide the back of the hand behind the thigh. You push down in the back to make your spine vertical, and then you turn your head quite elegantly. Imagine you're balancing a book on your head. Then we're going to just, with this right hand, just sort of make a lovely half circle. And reverse. Right hand goes back, left hand crosses. Looking over right shoulder. Put the book on the head. Remember, you can use this foot in front, this right foot, to push, give a little support to the left thigh. Then now it's going to be the right arm's coming forward and crossing and rotating to the left. And the left hand's coming forward and crossing and rotating to the right. And forward, you're going to, onto the hands, sliding a bit, wriggling a bit, crawling a bit, sinking a bit the elbows. And dropping the head. Maybe you can play with your hair, or touch your hair, or stroke your hair, or feel your ears, or feel your jaw, or leave your hands on the floor. And uncurl, and reverse the legs. So this time the left heel's going in first, the right one in front. For a moment you sit. And this time we're going to lengthen the arms, push into the two knees, palms are facing you, fingers are spread out as wide as they'll go. And as you push with your long stretched elbows in toward you, you push down into the floor and let the chest really by itself rise from the hips, rise from the lower back, rise from the navel. And then you hold it lifted. And as the chest becomes more comfortable, so the neck grows lighter and the ears relax. Then you release and take your legs out in front and roll back and up and back and up and back and up and back, knees to the ears. You can hold your back and take your right leg to the ceiling. And then slowly back. And the left leg goes up. And slowly down. And rolling up. Arching back. Left knee bends, left foot steps over right thigh. Right arm hugs left knee. You're turning to the left. You're spreading your right fingers. And you're looking behind. Slowly let it go. Bending your right knee, stepping over your left thigh, Left arm is hugging right knee, right hand is going back. Left hand is spreading open like a fan. Right elbow is lengthening, 2 sitting bones are reaching into the floor. Fingers are spread out. Head is turning to the right. And releasing onto the back. Relax. Let it all go. And bend your knees. Squeeze close. And then take your left knee over to the floor. The left arm out, and the right knee is going to follow the left. And the right knee is slowly coming out to the right. And you're turning your head to the right. You relax your hips, your back, your neck, your knees. When you turn back to face the ceiling, you return your 2 knees side by side. You take your right knee to the floor, and let the left one follow, and hold it with your right hand. You turn your head to the left, and lengthen your left elbow. Relax your feet, your knees, your hips, your anus, your pelvic floor. Release. 2 knees back to the center. Now we're going to pull them apart. Reaching your elbows to the floor. Slowly roll over your lower back, keeping your knees wide. Letting your feet hang quite heavily. Lifting your head to look over the top. Lowering the head. Squeezing the knees into the armpits and then together. Then open again. Roll forward, wide apart. Lifting the head, hanging the legs. Lowering the head, bending the elbows. Elbows come down to the floor, then knees come toward the armpits and then toward each other. Then open again, armpits. Then forward, wide apart with the knees, hanging. Lift the head forward and release, bending the knees and sitting up, standing up. Reaching, forward and down. Hanging the head. Now take your feet a little bit wide apart, but leave your heels quite close. Bend the knees and we lift the heels and take the knees out to the side. Then you can rest your arms on your knees. Perched like a little bird on a fence. Hands come down, bottom lifts, heels settle, feet parallel, head into the shins. Arms to the lower back, hands together interlace, thumbs reach up to the ceiling or right over behind you if you have good shoulders. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, bring the hands to the floor, heels touching just off the floor, knees wide. Hands on the knees. Hands to the floor, knees to the floor. Soften the toes. Sit between your heels. Feel the chest beautifully open, beautifully light. Feel the light under the chin. The light in the palms. And then the hands come in front and we walk forward, one after the other. Soften your elbows if you can, and your head to the floor if you can. And then lift the head and walk your hands back. Lift your bottom. Take your toes squatting width apart. The heels a little bit narrower than the toes. We'll just do a little bit of rocking. Heels come down, knees forward, heels, knees. We could take the right knee down and come up onto the left toes. And sit a moment. Release the hands and swap the legs. Lift your right heel, drop your left heel. Hands on the knees again. Lift a little long through the middle. Then the hands in front, the legs straight and feet parallel and wide-ish apart, not too wide. And you just hold one hand around one elbow and push. And swap. The other hand around the other elbow. And two hands push down. And then holding two elbows. And the more you squeeze the elbows, the more you can stretch the back. Then look over your forearms to the space behind you. Release your hands, bring your feet closer together, bend your knees and stand up. And just feel a little bit the body can move. Make sure you're at the front of your mat. We lift. Prayer position down. Separate the hands reaching up. Prayer position down, bending the knees. Hands to the floor, lifting the bottom, hanging the head. Bending the knees, uncurling, lifting. Palms together, bending the elbows, and down. Standing. Shifting the weight very subtly from one side to the other. Reach into one foot, reach into the other foot. Reach into both feet together. Reach into both hands together. Make space between your fingers and your thumbs, like two dinner plates facing each other. Inhale, lifting. Forward and down. Bending the knees. Elbows onto the knees. Thumbs under the chin. Knees together. Rotating to the left, right elbow beside the knees. Looking to your left elbow. Returning to the middle, looking straight ahead. Rotating to the right, left elbow beside the knees, looking to your right elbow. Releasing to the front, hands down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Check there's plenty of distance between your hands and your feet. And really feel that you can stretch the mat to stretch your calves and your ankles and the balls of the feet and the palms of the hands. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Take the knees nearly to the floor. Bring the chest forward and look forward. Slowly lift the bottom, stretching it tall, and then slowly take your face past your elbows toward your legs, settling down your heels. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Lift your head, look forward. Lift your bottom, stretch your knees. Head comes toward the knees move down toward the heels. Spread across the lower back. Lower the knees. Flatten the feet. Bring the elbows to the floor. Interlace the hands. Give them a little squeeze and drop the head. Let your armpits lighten. Let your mouth soften. Check your feet are even so they're in line with your knees. Relax. Curl your toes, lift your knees, straighten your legs. Reach your heels down and lift your buttocks up. Lower your knees. Take your knees slightly closer to your arms. Relax your feet. Pause. Again, curl your toes and lift your knees. Stretch. Lower your knees. Lift your head. Bring your hands in front. Bring your left knee forward by your left thumb. Take your left ankle under your right hip and stretch back. Lift your chest. Drop your hips. Lift your face. Soften your toes. Bend your elbows. Slowly forward. Release your arms so you can rest. Bend your right knee and rotate the ankle. Reverse. Release. Lift your head, bring your hands a little closer. Bend your right knee and hold your left hand around your right ankle. Lift your face. Let go. Curl the toes in the back. Come back to the dog. Stretch your left leg. Replace it. Stretch your right leg. Replace it. Drop your knees. Drop your elbows. Interlace your hands. Hang your head. Curl your toes and lift into the dolphin. Drop your knees. Lift your face. Release your hands. Come onto your hands. Bring your right knee by your right thumb. Your right ankle under your left hip. Wriggle back to lengthen your left leg to make heavy the pelvis and light the chest. Forward onto your elbows. Feel how that sits. Adjust if you need to, if it's tight. If you're comfortable, you come all the way down. Bend your left knee. Rotate the ankle. Reverse. Release. Lift your head. Release your hands. Walk a little closer. Keep well down with the pelvis. Don't hunch the shoulders. Now you're going to, with your right hand, hold your left elbow, so lift your left ankle. Bend your left knee to hold the ankle and reach back and look up. Releasing, hands come in front, curl the toe in the back, lift up and step back to the dog. Stretch right leg and down. Stretch left leg and down. Drop the right knee. Reach back with your left leg. Take your left arm up and lift the left leg. You can take it by the ear if you can do that. onto the knees. Drop the head. Relax the neck. Arch the back. Spread your buttocks with your mind. Feel your tail. Any sort of tail you fancy, a little piggy's tail or a big bushy tail or a smooth long tail. Turning now to the right, you're going to lengthen your left leg and take your right arm up and lift the right leg. And release onto the hands and knees, sitting for a moment in Virasana, softening the neck. You can either sit on your feet or you can separate your feet and sit on the floor. See how that feels. And you can sometimes put your hands on your heels and do a little lifting and settling if you're nearly there. And then the hands go back. You press into the floor. Keep the elbows long, the shoulders light, the armpits soft. The bottom is reaching, you're spreading again your buttocks, pushing into the front of the ankles and lifting the head. Folding over softly into child. Uncurling, reaching forward into dog. Lifting the heels, bending the knees. Bending the elbows, coming forward smoothly over the toes into the up dog. Pushing into the hands and floating over the toes into the down dog. Left heel moves toward right foot between the thumbs, steps forward. We're doing a side warrior. So you're facing the long side of the mat. The right knee is bending. The left hip is coming forward. The left leg is streaming down. The shoulders are level. The shoulders are facing the side. The pelvis is turned a little bit to the right. When you turn to the left, you reach back. And the right arm's going to reach in front. When it's nice and even and level, you just turn your head to the right. You can bend a bit more if you want to, the front knee, and push strongly into that foot. Breathing from the middle into the feet and back. Inhaling from the middle into the hands and back. Inhaling from the middle up and down the spine and back. Left hand is going down to left leg. Right arm is reaching up. Releasing right arm. Coming down a little more with right leg. Hands to the floor. Stepping back to the downward facing dog. Lifting the heels and bending the knees. Bending the elbows, coming forward smoothly over the toes into the up dog and then up and over the toes into the down dog. Right heel moving in toward left foot stepping forward between the thumbs. Standing up to face the right side. Pardon my back. So we're bending again the front knee, which this time is the left knee. The right hip's coming a little forward, so the right hip to a little bit to left. Right shoulder goes back in line. Arms reach wide. Fingers are spread, as if you're patting a surface. Head turns to the left. And if you want to bend a little more deeply into your left knee, make sure you push back into the right foot when you've done that. And again, you stream the breath from the navel out into the hands and back. Down into the feet and back. Up and down the spine and back. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. And a bit back perhaps. And down. Left hand in front, right hand to match, left foot back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa, heels lift, knees come down. Face looks forward, elbows bend, legs straight and pulling over the toes. Hanging through the up dog, floating over the toes and reaching back into the down dog. Left foot between the thumbs, right knee drops to the floor. Pelvis heavy, heart light. Chest floats up. Fingers reach down, crown floats tall. Right arm goes beside left thigh. Left arm comes together, prayer position. Rotating to the left, right elbow by left knee. Looking back. Releasing to the front. Curling the right toes and just straighten the leg. And then slowly straighten the front leg. Relaxing your neck. Bending your right knee and stepping back to the dog. Right foot coming forward, left knee dropping to the floor. Sinking, heavy in the hips, light in the throat, stable in the feet. Coming up, reaching down, floating tall. Left elbow by right knee, prayer position beside right armpit. Hips forward toward the right heel. Head back toward the right elbow. Releasing. curling the left toes, lifting the left knee, straightening it out, then pushing into the right foot to stretch the legs. Stepping onto the right foot, putting the left hand in front, holding the right ankle with the right hand and reaching the left foot to the ceiling. Bending the left knee and dropping the left foot beside the right, lifting the right foot. Left hand holds right ankle, right hand to the floor, right leg lifts up. Right leg returns to the floor. Softly uncurl and stand. Stand. Settle. 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 Feel the earth under your feet. Lean on it. That you feel every cell. Open your hands. Spread them wide and long. Bring them close so you feel where your legs are. And then just a little bit away. Let the chest be light and the legs long and stable. Feel the head has no weight. It floats like a cloud. Inhale up. Exhale forward and down. Folding close. Looking right into your knees. Bending your knees. Bringing your palms together, interlacing. Sitting in your chair. Reaching forward and up. Looking underneath your wrists. Straightening carefully your legs. Anchoring your feet. Floating your chest. Floating your face. Looking back. Opening your arms. Floating wide. Lifting like wings. Diving like a bird into the sea. Looking to the floor, grounding your hands, stepping your left foot back into the down face dog. Coming forward into the plank. Looking straight ahead. Back to the dog. Bending the knees. Forward into the crocodile. Over the toes into the up dog. And up and over into the down dog. Right foot forward, left follows. Legs straighten up. Belly reaches into the legs. Nose reaches into the knees. Knees bend, face lifts. Arms forward, interlaced. pointing the index finger, straightening up, arching back, opening, standing. Lifting, diving, melting, yielding, grounding, hand stepping, left leg back into dog. And the heels lift and the knees soften. And the face lifts and you slowly engage your hands and your feet and pull over your toes and lift into the up dog and push into the hands and reach up the pelvis into the down dog. And take a breath. Moving your left heel in a little bit, you're stepping your right foot forward and standing up with wide legs. And the arms reach. And the arms lift. Prayer position down. Hands lengthen. Waist up, hands down, waist up. Settle. Press. Adjust. Legs could maybe be a bit wider. Now see if you can move your hips perhaps without bending your knees, but don't worry if you have to. See how much movement you can find. See how much movement you can find. Then the arms are coming forward without much weight, so you need to lean back and hang. And then you can lift your head and bring your hands a little closer and hang again. And this time the back of your hands is going to slide back behind. And you spread the fingers and the thumbs out and reach your wrists if you can into the floor. Pushing into the feet, pushing into the wrists, stretching the fingers. And then slowly coming back, hands under the shoulders, and the heels come in, and the toes come in, and the heels and toes all come in, until we can come onto the knees, into Virasana. And settle for a minute with the hands either side, and a little bit of easing back and forth. We'll finish with a spine twist. So we'll sit the bottom to the left, and take the right foot out and put the right foot beside the left thigh. The left arm is going to hold onto the right knee. You can, give a little cuddle if you want to. Be quite fond of that leg. And then you're going to slowly rotate to the right. Settle your right sit bone so the two sit bones are level and the right arm goes behind. And the left hand spreads open. And you have a look at the menu. Then the head turns to the right. You reach down and push down and breathe. And feel like the little candle burning inside. And when you're ready, you release that and return to the knees to settle, to let the body reorient itself and allow you to slip your bottom to the other side so you can free your left foot and place it beside your right thigh and embrace your left leg with your right arm. And again, the cheek can come down in a friendly sort of way. Squeeze it firmly and spread the fingers of the right hand. The left hand goes back, evenly pushing into both sitting bones, so adjust that if you need to. And the head turns back. And you close your eyes. And feel your breath flowing through all the nooks and all the crannies. And when you're ready, you let that go and prepare for Shavasana. Relaxation. You can sit if you want to, you can lie down if you want to. So you close your eyes and allow the sound of the singing bowl to sing deep inside you. Allow the sound of the singing bowl to inspire the muscles to relax, the fascia inside to soften, the skin to smooth, the breath to lighten, the whole body to let go. Bend your elbows so your hands are hanging, the fingers heavy, the breath in the elbows and the back of the head, the pelvis, the chest and the heels. Soften your fingers till they just touch the floor and then turn over and adjust the elbows so your palms are facing up. And you can feel some little pools where water perhaps could settle, the palms of the hands, the base of the throat, the circle of the navel, the palms of the hands, the base of the throat, the circle of the navel, and the orbits of the eyes. All of these little hollows, little puddles are surrounded by you. You feel the whole of the face. And contrast the weight in the back of the head with the lightness of the eyebrows, the cheeks and the chin. So there's harmony, there's balance. Feel the weight of the chest behind where the shoulder blades sit, and the lightness of the sternum. The weight of the elbows and the hands, and the lightness of the fingers and thumbs. The weight of the pelvis and heels. And the lightness of the pubic bone, the knees, and the toes. Visualize there's a very light, transparent, silken cloth stretched out across the ceiling above you. And notice that it is very slowly coming toward you. And the space between the silk and you is growing less and less. Until the silk touches you. And relaxes against you. And inspires the body to sink a little more deeply into the earth. And each breath. And then on the next in-breath you notice that the silk is lifting again. And being drawn up far and far and far away above you. Until it disappears into the space. And you notice that it's taken with it all the weight of your body. And left you floating. Light. Filled with air. And as you settle quietly into yourself, it suddenly dawns on you that you don't have to fix everything. That you're okay, just as you are. It's time to wake up. I do hope you're warm And now you begin to move and see how this body of yours is faring after this exertion. And after this opening of the awareness of the light within you. Take your time. And you may sit however you want to. You can stay on your back if you want to, or you can cross your legs or sit in Virasana as I am. And as you sit, just feel a little taller, as if some of the pressure has been released, some of the expectations, some of the fear, some of the worry. And it's a bit clearer inside. Thank you. Namaste.